Welcome everybody to Dream Right Go. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm DWG. Let's get it. Today I decided to make a video about understanding terms that might be foreign to you because sometimes I find them to be confusing as well. A lot of times my mind feels like this, bits and pieces of ideas and information just floating around all crazy like. I understand the basic concepts well enough to be a part of the conversation. However, I don't always understand how they connect in order to get things done. No matter your understanding level, never be embarrassed to ask those questions. There are way too many people that sit on the sidelines and thinking that somebody's going to laugh at them for not being up to speed. Don't do that. If you're looking for a platform and a community that you can rest assured that everyone's going to be cheering you on, willing to help you, I got you. It's Novelcrafter at novelcrafter.com. They're good people with good hearts making it happen with a great piece of software. Which brings me to the meat and potatoes of this video. Potatoes. I'm leaving that in. If you're anything like me, new to short stories, new to novel writing, new to certain terms such as acts and chapters and scenes, then let's tackle these three terms right now. Keep in mind that this is my understanding of these concepts and terms, so I could be a bit off. Feel 100% free to post a clear or more correct understanding down in the comment section. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You're not going to offend me in any kind of way. So let's start off with acts. Acts are the main separating blocks of a story. They follow a certain pattern, rising and falling actions. Most stories have three acts, a beginning, a middle, and an end. I like to think of it as like the beginning, middle, and the end of your day. If you're pretending like you're driving down a road and that is your story, then sunrise is like act 1, noontime would be act 2, and sunset would be act 3. Or you could say act 1 is the daytime, act 2 is the evening, and nighttime is your act 3. Each act has a purpose and a structure. For example, the first act introduces the main characters, the setting, and the central conflict. The second act develops the conflict and shows the protagonist's struggles and challenges. The third act resolves the conflict and shows the outcome of the story. Let's use a very popular story to make this clear. Let's use Star Wars: A New Hope and show the three acts. Act 1 is the setup. We meet the main characters. We meet Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Princess Leia, may Carrie Fisher forever rest in peace. We also meet Darth Vader and the droids being R2-D2 and C-3PO. The central conflict is the struggle between the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire and the Death Star plans that could change the course of the war. Act 2 is the confrontation. The main characters face the struggles and the challenges. Luke and his friends escape from the Death Star, rescue Leia, and join the rebels. The stakes are raised when they learn that the Death Star is on its way to destroy the rebel base. Act 3 is the resolution. The resolution in the final showdown. Luke and the rebel pilots launch an attack onto the Death Star, and Luke uses the Force to destroy it. With the help of Han Solo and Obi-Wan's spirit, use the Force, Luke. The conflict is resolved, and the rebels celebrate their victory and award Luke and Han their medals, and the crowd goes crazy. Next up, we have chapters, and chapters are found within the acts. Chapters are smaller units within the book. They are named and numbered and sometimes both. Chapters help to break up the narrative and control the pacing of your story. Depending on the author's style of writing, chapters can also contain one or more scenes. Chapters also are a tool for the author to use to create dramatic breaks and switch the points of view and change the time or the location and build up suspense and anticipation. In Star Wars: A New Hope, we can list the different chapters within the acts. Act 1 has 6 chapters covering Luke and the capture of Princess Leia. Act 2 has 3 chapters covering the rescue of Princess Leia to Han Solo leaving. And Act 3 has 2 chapters covering the Death Star destruction and the victory celebration. Next up, we have scenes. Now, scenes are the smallest units of storytelling that shows a character in action or dialogue. Scenes contain actions that take place in a specific time and location. Scenes are essential to the plot. They show the character's goals and motivations and conflicts and resolutions. Scenes can be short or long depending on the pacing and the purpose of the scene. Scenes also can be used to reveal information about the developing character's personality, their emotion, create tension and suspense, and also used for foreshadowing future events. In Star Wars: A New Hope, each chapter has its scenes. Now, there are way too many scenes for me to list, but I'm going to go through the scenes that happens through chapter 1 to chapter 3. In chapter 1, The Blockade Runner, we have scene 1. This is the opening crawl that sets up the background of the story and the conflict between the Empire and the Rebellion. In scene 2, the space battle between the Rebellion Blockade Runner and the Imperial Star Destroyer, where Princess Leia is captured by Darth Vader and the droids escape into their escape pod. In chapter 2, the droids on Tatooine, we have scene 3. The droids land on Tatooine and are captured by the Jawas. We also have scene 4, where Luke Skywalker is introduced as a young farmer who dreams of adventure and buys the droids from the Jawas. In chapter 3, Luke's home, we have scene 5. Luke discovers the hidden message from Leia and R2-D2 and learns about Obi-Wan Kenobi. We also have scene 6, where Luke meets Obi-Wan Kenobi, who tells him that the Force and his father and the lightsaber. And we also have scene 7, where Luke finds out that his aunt and uncle has been unalived by the stormtroopers and decides to leave Tatooine with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the droids. Now, of course, there are many, many more scenes throughout the chapters of Star Wars, and I highly suggest that you check out Star Wars if you haven't already, as Star Wars is an excellent example of the 3-act structure. It's also why trilogies and movies are very popular. It has the 3-act structure in that Star Wars A New Hope, released in 1977, introduces you to the characters and the central conflict. Then we have Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, released in 1980. That is where the struggle gets real. And then you have the Star Wars Return of the Jedi, released in 1983, and that is the resolve where Luke and everybody, they're going to resolve this situation once and for all. And then you have your 3-act structure right there that you can watch it. So I would suggest that you check out Star Wars to kind of get an idea of it and look for the different scenes and whatnot that I was talking about here, and helping us to learn how to, write stories and write novels and maybe even screenplays or whatever. But in any case, no matter what it is that you're writing, I would highly suggest that you jump on over to Novelcrafter at novelcrafter.com. They are not an affiliate of mine. They're just good people in a good place with a great piece of software, and I think that it is the right place for you. This is DWG. I am out of here. Peace.